What's up, everybody? It's what Jim. Let's go ahead and rank George Harrison's studio albums on Tier Maker. And you can let me know your thoughts on these albums, what your favourite George Harrison albums are in the comment section below. These won't be including the first two George Harrison albums before All Things Must Pass. We're just going to be talking about the ones from All Things Must Pass all the way to Brainwashed. So we won't be talking about Travelling Wilburys albums either, just the George Harrison solo work, but the albums that he's actually got vocals on, and the albums that came out after his Beatles career. So let's go ahead and rank them on Tier Maker right now. Here we are on Tier Maker. This isn't one I've made myself, but I'll link in the description below in case you want to go ahead and do this yourself. So we've got 14 here, but like I said, we're going to be ranking 10 here, so we'll just do it in the order that they appear on here then. So we have got the S tier all the way down to F tier. So let's go ahead and do it for the first one, which is George Harrison, 33 and a third. And I think this is a pretty amazing album. I think it's quite an underrated George Harrison album. It came out in 1976. So I think because of that, I'm going to be putting it in A tier. The next one we're going to be talking about is my favourite, All Things Must Pass. All things must pass away. That's All Things Must Pass, my favourite George Harrison album. So that's absolutely going to go in S tier. It's a masterpiece, 10 out of 10, and it came out in 1970. And my favourite song from it, well, I'm not going to tell you that, because at some point I am going to be doing a video on my top 5 George Harrison songs, so stay tuned for that. The next one we're going to be talking about is George Harrison, Cloud 9. This came out in 1987, and I think this is a masterpiece as well. I think it's a brilliant album produced by Jeff Lynne. It does remind me of the Travelling Wilburys quite a bit, but I just do absolutely love this album. And I actually heard this album when I had COVID, so I didn't have the best experience when listening to this album, but it still didn't stop me from giving this a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing album. The next one we're going to be talking about is Gone Troppo. Came out in 1982. This is, in my opinion, my least favourite George Harrison album. I still think it's a pretty great album. So, if we're going to say S is perfect, A is amazing, B we're going to say is great, C is good, D is okay, F is bad. So, because of that, we're going to put this in B tier. It's still a very enjoyable album. I rate it an 8.25 out of 10. The next one we're going to be talking about is George Harrison's Living in the Material World. I think this is a near perfect album. 9.25 I rate it out of 10, and I think it came out in 1973, I believe. So it's going to go in A tier, but above 33 and a third. So we're halfway there already. The next one we've got Somewhere in England. It's the album that's got the song All Those Years Ago. I don't know why I'm singing today, to be honest, guys, but this one came out in 1981, and I'd give it an 8.75 out of 10. So it's going to go in great, and I prefer it to Gone Troppo. Okay, next one is Brainwashed, George Harrison's last studio album. Rest in peace to you, George Harrison. It's a masterpiece. I love Brainwashed. The more I hear it, the more I love it. But I do think... do I prefer it to Cloud 9? No, I think I do prefer Cloud 9, but Brainwash is still a fantastic album. If you've not listened to it, highly recommend to. Next one we've got is, I've got the names here, so Dark Horse, rated one 8.25 out of 10, and this one came out in 1974. If I didn't say, Brainwash came out in 2002. So, because this one is a, what did I say, what was that out of 10? I've got my notes written here, so I said it was an 8.75, so therefore it is going to go in B tier. But do I prefer it to Somewhere in England? In my opinion, I think I do prefer it to Somewhere in England. But actually, I do prefer Somewhere in England, so we'll go ahead and put it there. Okay, next one, we've got Extra Texture, and this one I would give a 9 out of 10. I think it's an amazing album, and it came out in 1976, so because it's amazing, it's going to go all the way into A tier. Now, again, these are my own opinion, so I know this is probably quite a controversial opinion having these albums this high, but it's my own opinion after all. And I do prefer it to 33 in the third, just ever so slightly extra texture. So the final one we got here is George Harrison, self-titled. I think this is a 10 out of 10, and I'm trying to look at what year it came out. It came out in 1979. Fantastic album. The ones I've got in S tier, highly recommend to listen to all of them. I know All Things Must Pass is a long album. I don't count the third disc though, because that one's mostly instrumentals and jams, but it's gonna go here, and it's a tough one. Do you prefer it to Brainwashed? Yeah, I think I do. Just because I fell in love with it quicker than I did with Brainwashed. But the ones in S tier are just absolutely incredible albums. So none in F, none in D, none in C, 3 in B, 3 in A, 4 in S. And again, I've got this linked in the description below in case you want to play it yourself. But that's it for ranking these studio albums on Tier Maker. So that's it for this video, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I've done all sorts of Beatles videos on my channel, so you're definitely in the right place if you are a Beatles fan. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I really enjoyed doing today's video. Until next time, peace and love, and ciao.